Hey guys, so these are the Neckband Pro Bluetooth earphones, probably one of the cheapest Bluetooth earphones with active noise cancelling. I bought these for about 1800 rupees. So I'll talk about both pros and cons and let you know if you should basically get this one or look at some other alternatives. I'll talk about some competition as well. So guys, if you're new to the channel, like this video, also subscribe. Let's begin. So this is a retail unit which I bought from Me Store India. You are getting the user manual, the earphones themselves along with the micro USB, which is old school, but yeah, that's what you are getting here. So first up, there is no Google Fast Pair here. You need to manually turn this on and the old school go into the Bluetooth settings and basically pair it. So yeah, you get the idea. So looking at the build, it is nicely built for the price and it feels very lightweight at about 36 grams. I particularly like the buttons. I feel the placement is pretty good. I mean, it is easy to sort of reach out, and also they are kind of super clicky, which is pretty good. But what I absolutely don't like about this is, although they are magnetically attachable, they do not have any functions like play, pause or turn off, turn on, nothing. So I find this pretty much very old school. Also, mind you guys, these have no wear detection sensors. I mean, after getting used to this feature in other earphones, I find this very difficult to use these earphones now. But in terms of comfort, I find them pretty good. I had absolutely zero issues in terms of comfort. In terms of music controls, you are pretty much covered. You can play, pause, you can skip tracks, and you can also invoke Google Assistant. More importantly, you can control the volume, which is really handy. You also have this dedicated ANC button, which gives you some chime sort of sound for feedback. So I find the ANC itself to be decently good. For instance, in the neighborhood, there was some drilling sound going on, and it was cut off by about 50 to 60%, and it was way less disturbing. So it is kind of impactful in that way, but don't expect it to cut out all the noise. I could still hear that, but if you live in a very noisy area, this could be a good budget option for the ANC. It can cut out things like the fan noise or the AC noise to a great extent. So yeah, it's definitely a decently good option if you are on a very tight budget and looking for ANC option. I also tried gaming on this, but I did find some noticeable lag. But more importantly, the sound imaging wasn't that good. I mean, the footsteps or where the sound is originating from, it was a little confusing, so I don't really recommend this for gaming. I also tried calling on this, and here's the mic sample for you guys. Hey guys, now I'm recording this with the Neckband Pro Bluetooth earphones. Tried calling with these earphones and had a pretty decent calling experience. I mean, I tried this indoors but haven't tried this outdoors, and it does seem to pick up some background noise, which is common, and I would say this should get you a decent calling experience, I would say. Now in terms of sound, I find it's pretty much average at best. If you are someone who value a clean, clear, balanced sound, this is not for you. That's because I find it mostly boomy, probably because they tried to emphasize the low end, maybe to get that deeper bass effect, but the bass in itself is not punchy. I mean, the bass lacks that impact or that punch. The instrument lack the detail, they mostly sound muffled. Even the treble sounds mostly flat and laid back, so you don't get those nice and crisp high tones. So purely in terms of sound, you have much better alternatives like the Oppo Encore M31 or look at the OnePlus options, but there are some people who like this kind of sound signature, boomy bass with a bit of reverb. For instance, I found the Boat Rockers 335 to be terrible in terms of sound, but there are people who like that kind of sound signature. So don't get me wrong, this one is not that bad, but I would rate this about 6.5. I would call this an average sounding earphones at best. But in terms of battery life, it is pretty good. I got about 8 hours of battery life, consuming about 60% of battery life, roughly speaking. So you can basically do the math. And here's a quick rundown of the pros and cons. And guys, for more such organic videos, honest reviews, please like this video, also subscribe, and also consider buying from my affiliate links. It does help the channel so I can buy more stuff and review it for you. So that's been it guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.